if being able to quickly assess other people's categories and then adapt your own communication style to match theirs in order to be a little bit more successful in your endeavors or gaining a little bit more favor isn't what manipulation is all about. Hi, welcome back to my channel. And in case you're new here, I'm Joanna and I make weekly videos about motivation, organizing, and lifestyle. It's not news that we are all different people with different personalities, different backgrounds, different likes and dislikes, but there is also no denying that in some way people can be compared to one another. Something that Thomas Erikson has noticed and used to teach people in his communication coaching sessions. When I first laid my eyes on Erikson's book, Surrounded by Idiots, I was blown away by the fact how easily I could recognize myself and those around me in the traits that Erikson has described in his book. But the biggest eye-opening moment for me personally came when I used one of the tips that he gave in his book and I saw it work out right in front of my eyes. It felt as if I cast a spell, or as if whatever else I was saying before was never really reaching the person I meant it for. I was so astonished by this discovery that I really needed to share this with you. Those secret strategies, secret tips on how you could improve your own ability to communicate with others, as well as your own understanding of those around you. Because believe it or not, we are not surrounded by idiots. We simply use different communication styles and we use our own filter to understand what other people are trying to tell us. And those whose communication style matches ours, we consider easy to talk to, nice people. But those whose style is opposite to ours, usually we consider as very rude, impolite, or really unpleasant. In his book, Erikson divided people into 4 main categories, naming them after colors. So some people could be considered red, blue, yellow, or green. And although Erikson and I myself too appreciate complexity of human behavior and experiences and backgrounds and everything else that makes us human, he noticed that although people differ, as I've said before, they generally do fall into one of the before mentioned categories. But he also noticed that some people may share the traits between the different colors. But as he noticed, most people have one trait that is the dominant one. So the first type of people are the red people. And these Erikson considers to be born alphas. They see competition everywhere, wherever they go, even if those around them don't necessarily know that there is a competition that they're taking part in. Red ones will always try to win, no matter what. They simply enjoy the challenge of trying to win and, of course, the sweetness of the win itself. These people are also very honest about the things that they believe to be true. So they're not going to try to sweeten things up or soften the blow. They'll just say things how they are. They are also the type of people who consider time to be of extreme value. So you are very likely to see red people lose interest in a conversation if they see no value in it to themselves. They also enjoy to push themselves as well as others to their absolute limits. And they're generally not afraid of taking risks. The second type of people are yellows. They see everything in a positive light. They're extremely optimistic. The glass is always half full for them, even if they didn't have anything good happen to them in a really, really long time. They always are somehow able to find something positive about every single situation. They find it extremely easy to entertain other people and build them up, lift their spirits up. They're generally easygoing, cheerful, easy to talk with, quite talkative, and just as Reds are, they are quite quick to making decisions. But their decisions are usually based on hunches or gut feelings, if you will. They enjoy meeting with new people and they're very quick to make new friends. It's very easy for them to talk to strangers. It's always very easy to talk to new people, and the best of all, staying in touch with all these friends is never a problem to them. They're very creative people by nature, and they're very creative people and they're very persuasive, and they're very persuasive too. The third group, green people, are the most balanced of all of the other groups, and according to Erikson, they're the most commonly found group of people. They're much more passive in comparison to the previous two groups. They enjoy quiet, peace, and stillness. People with this trait hate to cause anyone any trouble, offend anyone, or use others. Their goal is to simply fit right in without stealing the spotlight off of someone else. They're very concerned about other people and their well-being, and they will always try to help them out of any trouble if they can help it. They thrive in known environments, fearing any change whatsoever, fearing any change that might destabilize that peace and quiet that they enjoy being in. But even though they dread the change, if given sufficient amount of time, they are willing to give it a try too. They're very reliable people, even though they're not the fastest to react. They won't cross the deadline, but they also will not start working on it right away. Usually they'll push it till the last very moment. Surprises are generally very tiring to this group of people, and they prefer to know exactly what's going to happen and what to expect. Blue people, or a final category, are people who have organized their lives in a certain way, and they really dislike it if something seems to be out of order or place. Their houses are usually covered in labels from top to bottom. Everything has its own place, and everything is carefully planned out. These are the people who scout Google for information and remember the weirdest parts that they can later on use to correct your inaccuracies in telling your own stories. But don't get me wrong, these are not the people who will look up the information just so that they can boast about their knowledge or prove you wrong. And just like any other person, they cannot know everything. It's just that they're very interested to begin with. They're very detail-oriented and very cautious people, so whenever they have a decision to make, they try to predict all the different outcomes before they make their final decision. And they also don't waste their breath on small talk. Even from this really short summary of each of the different colors, I'm sure you'll be able to see yourself in there and your closest ones. And assuming that Erikson is right in his categories for all of the people, at which point I again need to remind that this is only a generalization, then this is making it a little bit easier for us to understand why it is so that some people seem to be so difficult to talk to, whereas with others we seem to understand each other pretty much without words. The challenge begins when you really have to very quickly assess which group your communication partner belongs to and correctly adapt your own communication style to match theirs. Now, you might be wondering at this point if being able to quickly assess other people's categories and then adapt your own communication style to match theirs in order to be a little bit more successful in your endeavors or gaining a little bit more favor isn't what manipulation is all about. And this is something that Erikson has very slightly touched upon in one of his chapters. And to kind of summarize his own thoughts on that topic, yes, there might be a risk of that. But we can also assume that we're all sensible people and that we can choose when to use this information and do it wisely. After all, the point of this book is to be able to understand other people better and their points of view better, to be able to communicate with those people who differ from us, so much so that we are inclined to call them idiots for not being able to truly understand what motivates their behavior. The book is not about becoming a master manipulator who always has the upper hand in all communication. And actually, this is quite interesting. Let me know in the comment section, do you guys think that being able to adapt your own communication style is a form of manipulation or not? That's a very interesting topic and definitely something that I would recommend picking up and reading on your own if you would want to find out more and read a little bit more about some of the examples that Erikson gives in his book that really help you understand better what the different categories really are all about. And because this video is already a little bit long, and I think I'm going to divide this video into 2 parts so as not to make it too long and boring for you to watch. So if you like this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel so as not to miss the part 2 to this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next week. Bye!